A government employee is speaking out, claiming the Obama administration is going out of its way to make you, the public, feel the pain of sequester. The U.S. Park Ranger telling Fox News national park officials forced cuts on programs that would have an effect on visitors like tours. Are they trying, or are they trying to shut down high-profile parks events just to scare people? Warren Meyer is the president of Recreational Resource Management, a private company that manages parks. Thanks for joining us, Warren. So last week we had the Department of Agriculture, a leaked memo saying, hey, let's not downplay the sequester, let's upplay the sequester and the cuts that may ensue. Tell us, this is happening also in the National Parks Service as well?
Yeah, it looks like it is. Now, I don't have specific information about the Fox source, but it shouldn't surprise us a lot. If you look at polling for most federal agencies, it's not very good. I mean, the one agency that really gets great polling from the public is the national parks. So there's a long history of using the national parks politically during these budget fights. In fact, there's actually a term, you know, when the government goes to sort of close the most important rather than the least important functions as a ways to try to get budget back, there's a term for it. It's actually called the closing the Washington Monument ploy. From a past budget battle. So
Sure.
The Park Service has been the center of this kind of controversy before.
And I ran the math a little bit. The Park Service falls under the Department of the Interior. Park Service has about a $3 billion budget. Interior has about a $20 billion budget. But if I'm reading the numbers right, the Park Service, that specific agency, is going to be hit harder with sequester than any of the other agencies within the Department of Interior.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why that is. Now, the sequester was set up in the first place to be sort of overly difficult. It was an incentive to try to get some kind of other budget deal done. But it was supposed to be pro rata, was my understanding. So why the Park Service would be getting hit for more rather than sort of taking out some layer of management in the Department of Interior makes little sense to me. But we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, look what the White House did. The White House, of all the things they could have cut costs in their own cost cutting, they closed tours so they could dominate the news cycle for a couple of news cycles with disappointed sixth graders on TV.
Right, but I think that's backfiring on them. I think they kind of jumped the shark on closing the White House for tours. Are they doing the same thing on a national level when they make the parks, the people who go to these park tours, feel that pain too?
Yeah, I fear that. In the Park Service, there's a lot of things. I mean, that's the business we're in. There's a lot of things the Park Service could be doing over time to reduce costs in intelligent ways that don't hit visitor services.
Like what? Give us we only have about half a minute or so. Where's another area
it's
rather
the business
than the
we're
tours?
in. I mean, private companies, for example, today, like mine, they clean bathrooms, we do the landscaping, we do all kinds of things where we can do that about half the cost that the government does. Already at the state level, for example, last year in California, private companies reopened a bunch of parks in California because their costs are so much lower than the government's. I mean, that's an intelligent way to cut costs. Is you don't cut visitor services, you do things less expensively.
All right, we'll leave it there. Warren Meyer, thank you very much, sir.